All right, welcome back to the channel, everybody. Happy Wednesday. We've got a 9-game NBA slate. We're going to talk about each game. I'm going to give you my best bets, and I'm going to throw in a little 3-leg parlay if you can still get it. I think there's some good value there. So a couple of bets that were a little too juicy to single bet, so parlayed them together. If you guys haven't yet, join the Discord. Absolutely crushing college basketball right now, so we'll put out some plays for that in the Discord later today. That is going really well. And let's get into this card. So start with the Phoenix Suns and the Brooklyn Nets. Old Mr. Richards, who absolutely sucked last game. You can find 9.5 on the rebound line on some books, very heavily juiced. It'll be 8.5 on most books. Not going to touch it. I want to see what he does. Obviously unimpressed by his last game. Now for Brooklyn, I don't know if Ben Simmons is going to play. One play that I almost pulled the trigger on was taking D'Angelo Russell's under 7.5 assists. Probably cooked if Simmons doesn't play. So might throw that on a slip, might gamble there. I don't think he hits it if Simmons plays. Just not a great matchup to get assist, at least not if Simmons is playing. So in this contest, I would take Brooklyn plus 10.5. Stronger lean towards the under 219.5 in this game. Next game, Timberwolves and Dallas Mavericks. We saw the Mavericks struggle against Charlotte. That looked terrible on Monday. Minnesota -2. We just talked about the other day. Minnesota on the roads, just a little bit different. That said, this Dallas team, I don't love it with all the injuries and everything they have going. I would lean towards the under 217. Minnesota -2 would be my favorite play in that one. Pistons and the Hawks. Let's see what we get out of this Hawks team. I think Detroit's been playing pretty well, man. So I kind of lean Detroit money line in this one, plus 126. Kind of like the way they look. I would lean towards the under 235.5. A little high for the Pistons. I wouldn't say low for Atlanta, but kind of that midpoint. So I'd lean under 235.5. Bucks and the Pelicans. A lot of potential injuries and things like that going on. Will Zion Williamson play? Right. We've got Giannis is questionable. So there's a lot going on in this game. So nothing I really want to touch until we see an injury report. That's just kind of the way it's been over the past week or two. It's like teams are just unexpectedly dropping players. So a little frustrating in that front. I would almost lean New Orleans plus 6.5 at home if we get Zion in their normal lineup. I think it's a good spot for them. Under 233.5 would be a strong lean in this one. Cavs and the Rockets, game of the night, I would have to assume. We see Cleveland -2, I think rightfully so. I don't see any reason to not take them -2. I think they'll get the job done. No Evan Mobley, but they looked pretty good last game without him. I think it's just a bad matchup for Houston. So I would lean Cleveland -2, or you can get it at -2.5 on some books. 2 is obviously better. Under 231.5 in this contest as well. I think it's just a little too high for a Houston team. Next game, Hornets and the Grizzlies. This one, blowout potential is strong in this one. We see Charlotte plus 12. I kind of want to take Charlotte plus 12 in this. That's where my gut goes. They didn't look amazing last game, but I thought they looked pretty good, especially with Mark Williams getting 4 fouls in the first half. I think he has the potential to have a pretty decent night tonight. Almost pulled the trigger on his over 12.5 rebounds plus assist. Still kind of looking into that. I just don't know how he'll do against Edey. On the good front, he shouldn't get a lot of fouls. So his playing time should be pretty high. So I like the hit rate. Over 1.5 assists has been hitting. He's over that in 8 of his last 10. That's another one that almost made the card. But I would lean Charlotte plus 12, actually. Another one, probably go over 239.5 in this one. I think it's going to be a pretty high-scoring affair here. Very fast-paced game. Next game on the card, Jazz and the Thunder. Oof. And Jazz are still pretty banged up. Like Markkanen's a game-time decision. Collins still a game-time decision. Didn't put out lines for Collier, but man, this dude's been absolutely torching the assists. So that'll be one I'll be keeping a close eye on, seeing who is in and out of the lineup. And if we can get him at a decent value for his assist, I do like taking him. He's been on an absolute tear lately. But in this one, I mean, blowout potential is so ridiculously high. I'm not picking a plus or minus 17.5. Utah on the road have been pretty bad. So if anything, I would take OKC minus 17.5. But I think the over 225.5 could be a good play there. All right, so next game is going to be the Golden State Warriors and the Kings. Kings minus 7 is that's pretty stout. Now there is some injuries and things along those lines, right? Podzmitsky and Draymond Green's going to be out for probably a week or so. So there is some issues there. Kuminga's still going to be out. That said, I don't know if I trust this Kings minus 7. That's a little rich for me. I'd probably lean Golden State plus 7, to be honest with you. I just don't love the way Sacramento's been playing. That said, it's a pretty good opportunity for them. So we'll see what happens in that one. Last game on the card, Boston Celtics and the Clippers. I don't know, plus 9.5 for this Clippers team is a decent amount with Boston on the road. I would take Clippers plus 10, over under a 217.5. Feels a little high for a Clippers Boston game. So very, very slight lean towards the under in that one. But I do like Clippers plus 9.5. I don't think Kawhi is going to be playing in this game. So that does impact things just a little bit. But that's what I like in this contest. So let's get into the card and get you guys on your way. Before we do, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. Like I said, join the Discord. It's absolutely free. We put out a prop sheet. I put that out for the NBA so you guys can get a good look at who has good opportunities today to help build some slips. All right, first play on the card is going to be Cade Cunningham over 5.5 rebounds. He's over this in 6 of his last 10. Atlanta is giving up a ton of rebounds to the point guard position. They are 24th over the last 15 games. So great opportunity here for Cade. Kind of thought about a potential triple-double here. So that's something I'm going to look at a little bit more, but you never know. Next one, we're going to stay with Detroit game. We're going to go Oscar Thompson over 6.5 rebounds plus assist. He's over this in 6 of his last 10. It's just a really good matchup here. Atlanta is 19th in rebounds allowed and 28th in assists allowed to the small forward position. So I do think he has some opportunities there. I think things get physical underneath. Wouldn't be shocked if Duren gets into some foul trouble. I really wanted to pull the trigger on Duren over points plus rebounds. I just can't trust him to not have stupid fouls. Next play is going to be Shai Gilgeous-Alexander under 5.5 rebounds. A little juiced at minus 140, but I love this spot. He's only over this in 4 of his last 10, and this blowout potential is ridiculously high with a 17.5 spread. So I think he easily goes under this. Amen Thompson under 9.5 rebounds for Houston. A little scary because the guy's been on a tear, but at home he averages 7.6 rebounds. On the road he averages about 1 more rebound, so he's about 8.6, 8.7. Cleveland, 3rd fewest rebounds allowed to the small forward position. Another reason I like this play is because Eason has been eating some of his minutes. If we look at the last couple rotations, hasn't favored him. I think Houston's going to have to do something a little more offensively. Amen Thompson is just purely defense. He's not going to give you a ton of points. So I like this spot for him. I don't say a ton of points. His line's actually like 15.5, something like that. Almost took the under on that, but I like him to go under today. John Morant under 7.5 assists. Kind of scary fading job, but over the last 10 games, he's only averaged 9.7 potential assists. So he'd have to almost be perfect to hit this. Charlotte has done a really good job of limiting assists to the point guard position. If we look, only 1 of the last 20 point guards have hit this line. It was Collier for Utah. But other than that, nobody's touched 8+ assists aside from Collier. Last play on the card is going to be De'Aaron Fox over 5.5 assists. So I like this play because he is averaging almost, it's 11.5 assists over his last 10 games, right? We know he's kind of splitting assists with Malik Monk. Sabonis has kind of stepped it up on the assist side. Sabonis has a good matchup to score points and get boards today, but didn't want to touch a 15 or a 16.5 line. Anyway, what I like about this is De'Aaron Fox has played Golden State 15 times. He is over this in 11 of 15. Now, he averages almost 14 assists a game when he plays Golden State. So we're seeing a massive uptick in potential assist. I also like this because Golden State does a very good job of limiting points to the point guard position. They give up the second fewest points over the last 15 games to the point guard position, but they allow the 21st most assists to the point guard position. So we've got a really nice matchup here where he should be dishing the ball underneath, hopefully to Sabonis for some easy points. Another play I like that didn't make the card would be DeMar DeRozan over 3.5 rebounds. He also has a very good matchup. It's just a little juiced at like -150, but again, could be a dance partner to something else on this card. A lot of plays I saw already on that. Let's get into the little 3-leg parlay we got here. DeJounte Murray over 5.5 rebounds. Again, just a little too juiced to make the card, but I love this spot for him. It's a really bad spot for centers and power forwards to get rebounds. Beautiful spot for point guards, shooting guards, and small forwards to get rebounds. In this matchup, we already talked about Shai Gilgeous. And then the last one I love is Kyrie Irving under 5.5 assists. This dude has not touched this line in forever. So I have a feeling this will go to 4.5. Now he's also splitting assist time with Dinwiddie. So, Quentin Grimes is in there. I just don't love this spot for him. So little 3-leg and combine that plus 377. If you want, you can take out Kyrie or take out Shai, however you want to mix and match this to meet your liking, I guess. And like I said, we're going to be posting some college basketball plays in the Discord. A link is down below. Absolutely free to join. Appreciate you guys tuning in. I feel pretty good about this card today. So let's go 6-0, 5-1, something like that. Who knows? But I feel like we're gonna have a good day here. Catch you guys in the next video.